It's an absolute bombshell from Melbourne Victory. On the week of the Melbourne Derby, coming up this weekend is the Christmas Derby between Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City. Patrick Kisnorbo, head coach of Melbourne Victory, has departed the club effective immediately. This is absolutely shocking. No one saw this coming. There were no rumors of this online as far as I saw, and it's going to be really interesting to see how Melbourne Victory respond from this move from Kisnorbo. How do they look going forward? We'd love to get your thoughts on this huge piece of news, which is broken today. We're going to have a quick look at the article on Melbourne Victory's official website. As you can see here, Melbourne Victory can confirm the A-League men's head coach Patrick Kisnorbo has departed the club to pursue an overseas opportunity. Quite interesting. And look, this is something that we have seen a little bit. We think back to Brisbane Roar last season, Ross Aloisi leaving just a few months into the A-League season. I think it was probably around about this time as well, maybe December as well, where he departed Brisbane Roar. Look, obviously, coaches in the A-League, a lot of them, no surprise, they have aspirations of coaching at some of the biggest clubs in the world. And it is great to see that we have a bunch of Aussie coaches coaching at some fantastic clubs. Obviously, famously, Ange Postecoglou currently at Tottenham Hotspur in the English Premier League. And we've got some, words coming out recently that Arthur Papas is linked with a job in Japan. I think Ben Khan's moving overseas as well. So look, Aussie coaches, especially even just across Asia, looking for opportunities. And we'll certainly keep an eye on where Kisnorbo ends up. The article reads here that Kisnorbo joined the club in June 2024. Since taking the reins, he has delivered an Australia Cup final berth and started the A-League season strongly, with the men's team currently sitting third on the Isuzu Ute A-League ladder. The chairman, John Doveston, here says that we are disappointed to see Patrick depart the club so early in his expected journey with us. However, Patrick has advised us that this is an opportunity he wanted to take for his own development as a coach. So, look, clearly there was a plan here, as the quote comes here from the chairman. There was an expectation that obviously Kisnorbo was going to be in charge for some time. And I think it was a good move to appoint Kisnorbo. There was obviously a lot of conversation around the appointment, with him being a former Melbourne City not only head coach but player as well, joining Melbourne Victory. He's done a great job with them so far. That is for sure, getting them to the Australia Cup final. They've made a good start in the A-League season, as the article states as well. But this opportunity must have just come up now, and he clearly has his priorities sorted out, where he wants to again try his test himself overseas. Obviously, we know Patrick Kisnorbo spent some time in France a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, didn't do all the best over there. So having another go here, they say here that the senior assistant coach Arthur Dillis will be taking over for the time being as well. So obviously for Victory, they'll be hoping that they can maintain that stability, as the article says here. That'll be the concern, I think, for Victory fans, that this will really sort of unsettle things. They have made a great start to the season. Victory third on the ladder, 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. They've scored 12 and conceded 4. They've got the second best defense in the league. They're in a great position. And they are, I think, well and truly one of the contenders for the premiership this year. But this really is a real shock, not just for Victory fans, but for everyone, and especially the timing as well, leading into the Melbourne Derby this weekend, especially considering that we're just, a couple months into this season. It's just really rattling for Melbourne Victory, and they'll be hoping that it doesn't derail their season. A big test here for Arthur Dillis to step up and become, I guess, the head coach here, the leader of this team, and make sure he maintains the principles and the structure that Kisnorbo laid in place. I reckon he is capable of doing that. And look, Victory have a very, very strong squad, but it just really is an incredible move, especially at this time. Look, we are on the cusp of the January transfer window, where we expect to see a lot of movement amongst a number of A-League clubs. But this just coming, just barely a week or so out from Christmas as well. Just an absolute shock for everyone. So would love to hear from you guys whether you think this will destabilize Melbourne Victory. There's no doubt that Kisnorbo has done a great job with Victory so far. Again, as well as mentioned, getting them to the Australia Cup final. He had made a great start with them. And again, just to reference that Brisbane Roar situation last year, Ross Aloisi came in and I thought did a really good job with that team. They were playing some decent football, getting some good results early on last season. And they went through a few coaching, changes. Ben Kahn coming in, then he departed, and then they had Ruben Zadkovic come in, and he's now still in charge of the club. And that did destabilize things a little bit for Brisbane Roar. They ended up having a pretty poor season in the end and haven't really recovered since, to be honest. Melbourne Victory, I can't expect the same thing happening to a club like Melbourne Victory, but you never know. I mean, we think back to just a couple seasons ago. I mean, Melbourne Victory were one of the bottom teams in the competition. Is there a chance that this sudden and shocking coaching department, this departure, I'm sure the playing squad are just shocked by this move. I mean, no one saw it coming. As mentioned, there wasn't really rumors of things going on. Usually there might, be something pop up online on social media, as we always see. But I don't know about you guys. I didn't see anything hinting that this move was coming. And Kisnorbo is gone just like that. So it is a real shock to not only Melbourne Victory, but the entire league. We'll keep an eye on whether they are able to stabilise or whether maybe this will cause Melbourne Victory to slip down a little bit. The Melbourne Derby this weekend is a real test, especially they're coming up against the Melbourne City side, who they themselves have made a good start to the season. 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses for them. A little bit mixed so far this season. They have had some up and down performances, really, a Vidmar's side. But I'll tell you what, Melbourne City will be looking at this situation now at Melbourne Victory and thinking, okay, we can get the win here. We can get revenge for that embarrassment in the Melbourne Derby earlier on in the season as well. Drop your thoughts in the comment section on this one. A huge piece of news on the week of the Melbourne Derby. Thanks so much for tuning into Oz Watch Football. Make sure to stay subscribed for more A-League news right here on the channel. My name's Lockie, and I'll see you in the next one.